Hey, what's up, everybody? This is me, and I got some interesting news. I know some people are gonna probably not want to hear this, but I kind of came to this reality today that this era in Brandy's career is essentially over. Um, I think that, and I'll tell you why. I got a couple reasons, so it's just not. I'm just saying because we haven't heard from her. But I think, you know, it's very difficult to stay relevant without continuous radio presence and continuous TV presence, and for some reason that's always been a difficulty for Brandy outside of the pre-album release days. And again, this has been the story. And one thing that I think is important to make clear is that it's not necessarily a reflection on Brandy. I think sometimes, what fans have to remember is that, when an artist puts out a body of work, they've got a team of people with the record label who will push that body of work for as long as they need to, or they can, or they think it's necessary. There will, however, come a point in an artist's and album's era where the record label will say, look, this is not working. It's probably best if we chill out on this, we start on the next project, we renegotiate, we do whatever we have to do to make sure that we put a jump start on the next era in this artist's career. And honestly, I think that we are at that stage with Brandy where the first single, in my opinion, was absolutely necessary, and I thought that it did all that it could on the charts, and I think that it did well, and I'm particularly proud of the song. The second single, if I'm being honest, is sort of stepping out of my realm as like Brandy stan and just being honest. The second single probably wasn't the best single based on what you are hearing on radio these days. I had a feeling when I heard that pop edit of Long Distance that something wasn't right, and I think everybody was like, oh yeah, so the release date for Long Distance, the pop edit, is going to be on February 10th. And then what we got on February 10th are a collection of remixes released to iTunes, and that pop remix was nowhere to be found, which clearly communicates that something is not right. Now, if in fact I'm wrong and this era is not over, I would venture to say that the third single is not First in Love, it is not going to be True, and it's not going to be Piano Man. I would think in my heart that it's going to be Torn Down, and the reason why I would say that is because Brandy, when she performed in Reno, which is her last performance, she sang Torn Down as opposed to some of those other songs that people have been speculating for some time. Torn Down is absolutely reasonable considering her place in life right now, but I'm not sure if the idea of being transparent or singing songs that clearly express where you are in life are what people want. I mean, I think it's a good thing, and me as a fan, I'm always ready for that, especially from Brandy, because I know that she sings from the heart. But the difficulty with that is that people are so shallow these days that they don't really want that music that really, and I hate to use this word, and I don't mean to be in any way disrespectful, but there's some music, even spiritual and non-spiritual, that ministers to you, because when you listen to it, you think about, your experience in life, and you feel encouraged and you feel inspired. And that's the kind of music that I think like a song called Torn Down represents. But that's not the place that people are. People would rather be, and again, this is coming up. But if you look at the top 10 songs, on the charts, a lot of them have no inspiration at all. And so to see that, Brandy's got Long Distance out and it's not doing too well on the radio, or it's kind of falling off these days, and the album is 136 on the Billboard 200. So it's at the point where either when it was around that 99 point, like it's time to do what we can to resurrect the album, get some good press. But I think it's pretty clear now that with all the rumors that she's back in the studio, it is pretty clear now that this era has ended for Brandy and the record label, and it's been clear for a long time. But I think people have just been in denial because, the record is so good, and there's so much potential there, but it has to be more than Brandy wanting to celebrate the music. She got to have the radio label, the record label behind her. And I don't know if she does or doesn't, but it seems like, I think as a fan, I'm to the point where I'm like, what, I feel like I trust Brandy and the record label's decision. It's Brandy's career. We might be fans of hers, but it's her career, and she is going to make the best, decision about her career. And if they don't want to put out another single, or they don't want to push this current single, or they don't want to put out a pop edit, then it's something that we can live with. But that doesn't mean that you just stop listening to the album that she has out. So I think that definitely the fans have done an exceptional job of supporting her and supporting the album. And I also noticed this week that, I don't know, a lot of the problems that that I don't know what was going on with Koch or whoever put out this album, but Walmart wasn't really working. But I've noticed that like lately Walmart has featured Brandy's music. I don't know if it's like that in any Walmart near you, but it's definitely like that at the Walmart near me. And then I also went to Target and I noticed that they had Brandy on the feature wall. So I think I don't know what the expectation was going to be post like lawsuit and all this kind of stuff, but I think we've got to lower our expectations as far as what we want to come out of this album, because I think we're to the point in this in time where we might not get anything more out of Human, and I think that it's unfortunate. But I also just want to bring to the table that I could be wrong. I'm just a random guy who makes videos. I don't know. But we'll any information that we get, we'll definitely keep you up to date on that. Maybe maybe a third single will come out. Maybe we'll see. But this is what we have right now, and we just gotta kind of take what we have and think about it. But I think it is interesting that like the Memphis game where she sang the national anthem, that was like on MLK Day or MLK weekend. You didn't hear anything about it, but that high definition video came out, and like she's all over the blogs and everything. I think people are just sort of waiting for something to happen, and it's not. So what do we make of that? What do you think?